Good morning, everyone. Everybody know why we're here? All right, so my job is to get this ceremony kicked off right, so I would ask that everyone please stand for the presentation of colors by the San Diego Fire Department Honor Guard. Uniform personnel, attention. Present arms. Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance and the Invocation.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Present arms.
Good morning to you and welcome to the Bayview Church today for this historic event. We're honored and privileged to host you here. My name is Terry Wayne Brooks. I'm senior pastor here at Bayview, but I'm also part of many who serve as chaplain for the San Diego Fire Department. And we're glad to be here today. I'm going to pray and get us started. I'll do all my speaking tomorrow, but let me just say this. was reading in my devotion this week, and I came across a story in the Old Testament where there was a woman named Esther and a man named Mordecai. And the people of God were in such a tense situation, and they were right on the brink of destruction, annihilation, and extinction. And there was one person who had an opportunity to do something and to make a difference. And I believe that she was teetering on whether she would speak up or remain safe in her consecrated and covered position. And her uncle Mordecai said, don't think that if you choose to take the easy way out, and this is the Brooks version, so don't try to find it in your version. If you think that taking the easy way out is going to protect you, it will not. Who knows that maybe God placed you here for such a time as this? That speech from her uncle changed her mind. And she went on to live a life that showed the providence of God, the power of God, and the hand of God in her life. I'd just like to leave that message on the mind of our new chief, because it's not that we are facing extinction, but we are. It's not that we are a community in distress, but we are. And I believe it's not by chance, it's not by luck, it's by the hand of God that you've been placed in this position at this time. And I know you're going to do exactly what you need to do, because you realize that God has chosen you for this position for such a time as this. In the time when, and especially in our community, when young men and young women of color have to battle against a falsehood that says your skin is your sin, God has placed you here for such a time as this. In a time where young men and women is held against them because of the difficulty of the path they chose, and they feel that difficulty should disqualify you. I've heard your story, and I know you understand that God has placed you here for such a time as this. I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be a part, but I'm also grateful to watch you live out your dream so that we can see your dream become someone else's reality. Thank you so much. Let's pray. God, we thank you so much for allowing us to be here in this place in this time. Thank you for our mayor. Thank you for all of our city officials. Thank you for all of our men and women who serve the San Diego Fire Department. I pray, God, that you would be a hedge of protection around them, not only today, but every time they put on the uniform. I pray that you will protect their minds as they serve. I pray that you'll protect their families as they are away. I pray that you'll guard their relationships as they put it all on the line for our safety. And now as we move further, God, I pray that you would just breathe on this moment and find joy in everything that is said and done. We pray this prayer in your name. Amen. At this time, the next two people who are going to come and speak will be Annie Lyles and Fire Chief Gerard Washington.
Good morning. Thank you, Pastor, for welcoming us here today at the Bayview Baptist Church. That's right. I grew up here in San Diego. My dad taught for almost 30 years down the road at Mount Miguel High School. And this is a legendary place. It's for inspiration, for solidarity, a perfect spot to welcome our new chief, Chief Robert Logan. My name is Annie Lyles. I am the Executive Director of the Aaron Price Fellows, and we've been collaborating with the Fire Rescue Department for almost 30 years. Our mission is to support young people who want to have an impact in their community, connect with each other, gain leadership skills, and find a role in public service. Our alumni go on to be policy advisors, political analysts, union organizers, community organizers. I see you, Carlton. They even grow up to be mayor, one of our alumni, Todd. My job for the last 10 years has been to stand with our youngest change makers, make space for their expertise at tables where they're not included, and help them grow their skills, sometimes in the face of naysayers. Before that, I had basically the same job, but with big city mayors. From Newark to Philadelphia, Louisville to LA, I had the privilege of supporting leaders with big ideas, develop cross-disciplinary teams to implement innovative ideas, practical solutions with community. Why did we all work together? Because together is the only way to make long-lasting change. And today, we are here to mark a change. Our newest fire chief joining the ranks of our city leaders, dedicating their gifts to a greater good, a better San Diego. There is nothing more beautiful. Now, when we teach fellows about fire rescue, we have them suit up first. How fast can they get the gear on, crawl through the tight tunnels, find their oxygen while wearing those blackout masks? Our teenage hotshot wide receivers, our incredible gazelle cross-country runners, they are gassed. It is humbling. I am glad that you allowed us just to sit in the pews today and applaud, because that is what I'm here to do. Holding that hose with 1 zillion pounds of pressure, it is not just glamorous, it requires grit. This department's stamina is the difference between life and death. And while I have carried a hose in your boots, it only left me in awe of what it takes to suit up every day in fire rescue. Thank you, all of you, for what you do. Now, in the afternoon, the fellows take on policy. A fire rescue department runs on strong policy. So the fellows are given 3 options. All have a cost to the taxpayers, and they have to decide on response times for our community. How fast should the response be when you call 911? The fellows are pretty budget savvy. They usually come around to a compromise, right? A little bit more in taxes to lower that tax rate. Until the year Edward raised his hand. Hold on, he said. This is a moral question. We are talking about losing homes, people dying. I care for my neighbors, and I don't have a lot, but my obligation to do my part is to ensure our neighbors can live through a fire, a heart attack, a car crash. This isn't about money, he said. This is about money reflecting our values. That, Chief, is where you step in. That is where grit and stamina meet courage. Courage is those soft moments, those moments of flexibility. It is stopping to ask, is this the best way? Is this path still serving us? And when a courageous leader asks these questions, they are not asking them to a mirror. It is to their team and to their community. So while today we're swearing in our chief, we are all swearing in. Because when Chief pauses to ask, is this the best way? Is this path still serving us? He needs honest feedback. He needs us, those closest to the issues, those most impacted, to share our ideas and our input. The Aaron Price Fellows was started by Robert and Saul Price. They founded Price Club that led to Costco, FedMart, if you're real old school. That's right. Oh, they would be so happy to hear that murmur. But they brought this background in retail, and customer feedback is something that I learned from them. I get 120 pages of written feedback from teenagers every month on what I do. And it is humbling. It is not for the faint of heart. But our work has never improved so steadily. We have never been able to meet the needs of a changing demographic in the same way. So our fellows understand, and they fill out this paperwork because they know the quality of their experience was because the people that came before them that filled out that paperwork, that gave their ideas. And they know it is their legacy and their responsibility to improve our program for that next generation. You see where I'm going with this. So for us, as we're sitting here today, we're in this swearing in because we appreciate all that has come that got us to this moment today, to this chief. But it is now our responsibility as community. It is our legacy to help this department and this chief improve for that next generation. Our chief is expected to keep us safe on a tight budget. He's expected to keep our firefighters and our lifeguards safe when they are exposed to risks all day long. Some short-term, some long-term. He's going to help us develop a department with the amazing careers it offers to reflect the diversity of San Diego. He's going to do this and more, but he will not do it alone. Chief, I'm going to ask you to take a minute to take a good look at all of us. We are a good-looking group. That's right. And I want you to remember in the mornings, when you're in the mirror, you got a daily affirmation or an attestation, or you're working on that epic mustache. I want you to remember us. I want you to think of us right behind you. Because every minute in those soft moments that requires courage and stamina, we are with you. That is what we're swearing in today. As leaders, as community members, as neighbors, that change will happen, you will lead it, and we will be with you. Chief, we're here today because when you ask, we will answer. Your success is our safety. We have high expectations for you, but we are with you every step of the way. Thank you. Thank you.
That's awesome. Well, good morning. My name is Gerard Washington. I'm Fire Chief of the City of Vista and the Vista Fire Protection District. I am truly humbled and honored to be here today to celebrate this amazing moment. I have a couple of things I'm going to ask, and one's a challenge, but also support. So about a year ago, I got hired by the City of Vista. Some kid from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Midwest, who knew quite a bit about the West Coast, but the West Coast didn't know about me, which was fun. With that being said, I was less than a month in the job. I get an email, and it's from a gentleman who's asking to meet me, congratulating me, and that he wants to meet me for lunch. And I'm going to admit my unconscious bias. The name was Robert Logan. So I meet him in the city, downtown Vista, at Village Pub. I walk in the door, and then there's a gentleman that stands up, and here's my unconscious bias. I never thought I would meet someone that had a bigger smile than me, and lo and behold. So we sat, had lunch, we talked, and he got an understanding of who I was, I got an understanding of who he was, and he offered his help to me, being the new person here in the county and in the state of California, and I truly appreciate that. I thanked him for that. It says a lot about him to reach out to someone he has no idea who they are, but to want to meet them. We became fast friends, and as we were conversing, texting or something like this, it came up about the fire chief of San Diego retiring soon. And in the discussion sometime there, it was that, hey, you're putting in, he said, yep, we're going to put in this, that, and the other. I said, oh, cool, neat. I'm sure you're going to do well. I said, would you mind if I mentored you, assisted you? I think I have some things that could help you be successful. Not that you need it, but I really want to be a part of this. And we did. We worked together. I saw his resume. I did my research on the city of San Diego, on the mayor, the budget, all the things that a fire chief has to know and should be well in tune in. The thing that impressed me most about Fire Chief Logan was he was preparing for this position long before he even started the fire service, which is amazing. And that struck home for me because we had a lot of parallels in growing up, our professions, and truly wanting to make a difference in our communities. So it resonated with me. And when I read the job description or job announcement, what they were looking for, I laughed. I said, Robert, they don't even realize, or maybe they do, they wrote this for you. They wrote this for you. Working with my man Jason over there, talking to Jason, and him and I, everyone knows Jason, right? He's really shy. I was shocked by that. So the thing Jason and I talked about, I said, man, this man has an amazing support group. In my 33 years in the fire service, I have never seen anything like this. And I said it to Robert when we would get together. I said, man, you got the big three. You got the community, you got the internal stakeholders, and you have the government officials that know you are the right person for this. And that spoke volumes to me. Truly did. And when we have our discussions, crucial conversations, as I say, here's the deal. You want the big seat. Here's what comes with the big seat. You have to have the legs, because it's a marathon. And you have to have the stomach. And those in the room that know, you know what I'm talking about. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. But he still chose to push forward with it. And I think him and Jason would agree, I never had a doubt that he was going to be fire chief here in the city of San Diego. Never. So we go through, he goes through the process, blessed, and achieved this. And then our working together, I even said, once you get the job, I always say once you get the job, that's the easy part, the preparation. The work begins that first day. And this is where I extend to you the village that surrounded this man and has uplifted him. Right? This is where it becomes critical. The support continues. You believe in him. We all do. We know what he's capable of. He just has to have the opportunity to do it. So there'll be some that second guess his motives. Or why is he doing this, or why didn't he do that? He's in the middle of a storm, as I say. Because you have the public, you have the internal stakeholders, you have the politicians, you have other fire chiefs, other firefighters, everyone's second guessing what you do. There is no real playbook on how to be an efficient fire chief. Believe it or not. Some people believe there is, there isn't. But here's the 3 things you should look for in your leader. And he exudes this. Transformational. You need that. That was already said, but where we're going, where this department going, where the city's going, you need someone like him that is going to empower his circle. The folks that are going to be there to help run the department. I think of Rosalind Carter's saying, a good leader takes people where they want to go. A great leader takes people where they may not necessarily want to go, but ought to be. And that's exactly what he's going to do. Integrity. He exudes that. He will always do the right thing, even when no one's watching. That's what you want in your fire chief. And the word was said, courage. It takes a lot of courage to stand there and know decisions that you make, not everyone's going to be happy. But knowing that he will be an advocate for the internal stakeholders as well as the external stakeholders. That's amazing. So when you read the headlines or you hear the rumors, I challenge you to push back. Give him the benefit of the doubt. He's earned your trust already. You know his character. You will not have all the details of why he made a decision or a policy is coming out. Trust in that he's doing it for the betterment of the department and the city. That's what he needs. That's what I ask you to continue to do for him. The village has got him here. Now we got to carry him throughout the future and taking this department and the city to the next level. With that, may God continue to bless you, the department, the community, and I will leave with this, that white helmet right there. If you ever need me, brother, throw that white helmet up in the air, and I'll come running. And those that know, know. My last three words. Vini, Vidi, Vici.
Thank you so much for those. I need you to do me a favor. I need you to stand. Help me welcome to the podium the mayor of America's finest city, the Honorable Mayor Todd Gloria.
That's very clever, Pastor Brooks. I know why you lead this joint. Good morning, everyone. Thank you all so much for being here today. As the mayor of this great city, it is an honor to be able to swear in our 19th Chief of the San Diego Fire Rescue Department, Robert Logan II. We'll get to that in just a moment, but I'd like to start by acknowledging, first off, this incredible crowd that is here. You know, this is a swearing in, but it's also obviously a community celebration. I'm so grateful all of you would take time out of your weekend to be here to celebrate our new chief. Chief among them, pun not intended, is our elected officials. We have members of Congress, we have county supervisors, state legislators, and of course my colleagues from the San Diego City Council who are here, our city attorney, Mara Elliott, who is here, our city's executive team led by our able Chief Operating Officer, Eric Dargan, an executive team who is here as well. Of course, the family and friends of Robert Logan II, and I don't ever want to miss an opportunity. This room is full of our city family. To every city employee who's here, thank you for what you do. I appreciate you, I respect you, and in particular today, I want to say to our firefighters, our paramedics, our lifeguards, thank you to each and every one of you for helping keep us safe. Can we get a round of applause for our Fire Rescue Department personnel? So when we started out on the difficult task of replacing Fire Chief Colin Stoll, I'm here to tell you that we got 70 applicants for the job. Many of them were truly exceptional. It was an embarrassment of riches who all applied. And as we went through the lengthy, I know very lengthy process of finding that perfect candidate, one rose to the very top. Now, there were many things that impressed me about Rob Logan, but the thing that stood out the most to me was the fact that we had so much in common. We were both native San Diegans that grew up in the neighborhood, and both of us knew what we wanted to do, even from a very young age. For Rob, that was growing up right here in Lincoln Park, in the southeastern corner of our city. He dreamed of racing around in a fire truck, heading toward danger, responding to emergencies and calls for service, simply put, protecting the people of San Diego. Now, realizing that dream was not going to be easy for Chief Logan. He faced some of the same obstacles that many children from this zip code, from this neighborhood, from this community face. And he overcame them. This man is precisely the kind of leader that we want and that we need in leadership positions in this city. A man who's experienced adversity, a man who persevered, a man who was a child in this community but is now going to be a role model for children in this community. A leader who knows San Diego because he is from San Diego, a leader who I know can build trust with this community, a leader with the ability, the credibility, the opportunity to inspire others because he was once where they were. And a leader who truly understands that the honor, integrity, and empathy are not just words, but they are his guiding principles. Chief Logan brings 24 years of experience to this position. He brings a commitment to leadership, to equity, to honesty, and to justice. He brings an innovative vision to the Fire Rescue Department that will ensure that we will not miss a beat during the transition after the incredible culture of excellence established by Chief Stoll and his executive team. His leadership, his vision will usher the department into the future, allowing him to adjust to the many challenges that is fire rescue service in the 21st century. Job number one for me as your mayor is keeping San Diegans safe. It is the responsibility that I place above all others. This year, I had the unique opportunity to appoint a new police chief and a new fire chief. And with Police Chief Scott Wall and Fire Rescue Chief Robert Logan, I believe that we have the dream team for public safety. This dynamic duo has the skills, the brains, and the leadership capabilities necessary to keep San Diego the safest big city in the United States of America for decades to come. San Diego is lucky to have both of them. So to Chief Logan, I want to thank you for taking on this immense responsibility. And as you step into this role, know that you have the full support of your mayor and my entire administration. We have the full faith in your ability to lead our fire rescue department with the honor and distinction. And before I administer the oath, we have a special guest star that I want to tell you a little bit about. An incredible gentleman who will be pinning the badge on Robert Logan. His name is Alwyn Benjamin Holman, or as many of you know him as Ben or Benny. Now, Ben's story is very similar to many of ours. He came to San Diego how? The United States Navy. And after having served in the Navy, Ben was hired as a probationary firefighter at the city of San Diego in 1951. Ben was the first black firefighter not assigned to an all-black fire station, making him the catalyst for San Diego Fire's integration of the department. Mr. Holman climbed the ranks of firefighters. His dedication and hard work were recognized when he was promoted to battalion chief, a role that he served as suppression chief, as training officer, and as data systems officer. His journey continued as he became the first African-American firefighter in California to attain the rank of deputy chief, where he served as director of support services, director of suppression, and director of administration services, leaving an indelible mark on the fire rescue service. And after 32 years of service, Ben retired in 1983, marking the end of an era and leaving a legacy that continues to this day. In fact, I think it's fair to say we would not be here today if it wasn't for you, Ben. So thank you for what you've done for this great city. So to pin the badge on our new San Diego Fire Rescue Department Fire Chief, please help me welcome Mr. Ben Holman. Looks good on you, Chief. Looks good on you. With that, it's my pleasure to administer the oath of office to Fire Rescue Chief Robert Logan. You ready? Ready. I know you are. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Robert Logan II, do solemnly swear.
I, Robert Logan II, do solemnly swear.
That I will support and defend.
That I will support and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of California.
And the Constitution of the State of California.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance.
To the Constitution of the United States.
To the Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of California. That I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. And that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter. Congratulations, Chief.
Well, with a standing ovation like that, I should never be sent to voicemail. All right. Well, good morning and thanks for coming. Good morning, Mayor Gloria, Chief Operating Officer Dargan, Deputy Chief Operating Officers, and members of City Council and distinguished guests. It is an honor to stand here before you today as your new fire chief. It is hard to express adequately in words how deeply moved and grateful I am for your trust that you've placed in me. First, I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to the predecessors and to all of those who served this department with unwavering commitment. Their hard work and dedication have laid strong foundation for us to build upon, and we are all beneficiaries of their legacies. As a native of Southeast San Diego, one of my most valuable things I've learned while growing up is to be courageous. But contrary to what many may think, the courage I learned was not so much related to the dangers I faced in growing up in a rough neighborhood. For me, it was always about the courage needed to seek opportunities that were outside the box of the narrative that was said was for me. I always knew that I wanted to make a difference. I needed courage to make sure I did not squander the opportunity to emulate the work ethic I learned from my grandmother, Agnes Jackson. Pepper spray. Agnes Jackson raised me growing up from the time I was a child. I needed courage to step out of my comfort zone and take on new responsibilities and passionately pursue continuous learning and growth. To my fire and lifeguard family, safety is and always will be our top priority. The nature of our work demands that we stay ahead of emerging risks and consistently evolve to meet the demands of technology and innovation. We will continue to invest in training and equipment to ensure that our department is always prepared to meet the challenges of today and tomorrow. Your safety and the safety of the community we serve are non-negotiable. The world of a first responder is evolving rapidly, and we must adapt adequately. Embracing new technologies and innovative practices will be key to our success. We will explore advancements to enhance our operational efficiencies and continually seek out ways to improve our service deliveries. Excellence is our standard, and we will strive to achieve it every day. To the community, my commitment extends well beyond the firehouse. We are part of this community, and it is our duty to engage with and support the people we serve. I envision a department that not only responds to emergencies, but also proactively works to prevent them. We will strengthen our outreach programs, enhance our fire safety education initiatives, and work closely with local organizations to build a stronger, more resilient community. As you've heard up here several times, no one succeeds alone. And the strength of this department is in our unity. We will foster an environment of collaboration where every voice is heard, every idea is valued. Together, we will work towards shared goals, support each other, and rise to any challenge that comes our way. Our teamwork is the bedrock upon which we will build our future successes. While looking forward with ambition and enthusiasm, we must also honor the traditions and values that have guided us to this point. The history of this department is rich with heroism and dedication. As we move forward, we will hold fast to these values, ensuring that our actions reflect the pride and integrity of those who served before us. San Diego Fire has a strong history of innovation and excellence. I stand before you today on the shoulders of pioneers who paved the way. And as I was preparing the speech, I found something very unique about the number 19. And I felt I had to put it in here, so hopefully everybody catches it. It was late. Hopefully it wasn't just me. On September 16th, 1919, Timothy Williams, Sandy Baker, and James Cross officially became the first African-American firefighters hired by the City of San Diego Fire Department. Fire Chief George Cursor, who served this department from 1947 to 1960, in 1951, he had the courage to issue a standing order that forced integration of the San Diego Fire Department. Prior to this, African-American firefighters were only permitted to work at Fire Station 19. This station is located at 36 Ocean View, which is ironically the very same fire station where I earned my EMT certification to begin my journey to this podium. Without his courage, we would have never been able to have the leadership of the second fire chief who blazed this trail well ahead of me, Fire Chief John DeLoach. Fire Chief John DeLoach was the first African-American fire chief to serve the city of San Diego. He served our department from 1985 to 1982, shattering racial barriers and proving to all that we are a community of equity, respect, and unity. Fire Chief Osby, who's in the audience today. Fire Chief Osby, our second African-American fire chief, served our department from 1992 to 2002. His role in our department history is significant because he's the fire chief who hired me. Without these three leaders, there would be no Fire Chief Robert Logan here today to lead us over the next decade or to celebrate with. I stand at this podium to become the 19th Fire Chief of the San Diego Fire Rescue Department. Everything happens for a reason. I am profoundly grateful to continue the legacy of the San Diego Fire Department's fire chiefs who have come before me. Their willingness to be courageous made it possible for me to see what was possible for me. We all have heard the expression, seeing is believing. Well, I can tell you that seeing these fire chiefs in the past was believing for me. As I hope that you see in me before you today is believing. What I hope you see in me as the 19th Fire Chief of America's finest city are my grandmother's values of integrity, an unbreakable work ethic, and a love for all people. In closing, I want to express my sincere gratitude for the opportunity to lead this exceptional team. Together, we will face the future with courage and determination. With your support and dedication, I am confident that we will achieve great things and continue to serve our communities with the excellence they deserve. Now let's get to work.